Hey guys, today we are in a 2021 Audi Q5. This is a Premium Plus package, which means it's around $49,000. It has a 261 horsepower, 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, mated to a 7-speed automatic transmission, and of course, quattro all-wheel drive. Let's walk you around this new Q5. This is refreshed for the 21 model year. They've updated the styling, made some changes on the inside, just to bring it up to date with the rest of the Audi lineup. It's about 16 degrees outside today. I attempted to wash this, but everything that was didn't dry froze immediately, so it looks a little rougher than normal. But on the outside, I think this is a pretty attractive looking car. We have classic, nice, swoopy 5-spoke alloy wheels, this new corporate grille from Audi that I think is quite attractive. The Q5 has always been kind of a sweet spot in Audi's lineup. It's not too small, it's not too big. It's enough of a crossover for most people. It's not necessarily as good or sporty to drive as their Audi A4s or their sedans, but for most people, this is kind of the perfect crossover. It's luxurious, comfortable. You've got a ton of space, a really nice low loading height, this massive opening, very easy to fold down the rear seats. You just pull this lever right here, and it folds pretty much flat. If you're a taller driver, you may need to move the front seats up just a tad, but as you can see, they lock into place. You release them down here with this lever, and very easy to operate, lightweight. They look nice. You can see we have this gray contrast stitching now, which is new for 21. Super easy to get in and out of. Plenty of leg room, lots of head height. This panoramic sunroof looks quite good. Audis have always had this nice, solid, chunky feel, and this Q5 stays in with that tradition. We have a pretty attractive looking interior, very in line with the rest of Audi's lineup. Lots of aluminum bezels, very simple buttons, knobs and dials for your climate control, and of course, your touchscreen display in the center. Great packaging with this 2-liter turbo, plenty of room to work, should be a reliable and relatively efficient powertrain. 261 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque, 28 miles to the gallon on the highway, and I believe 23 in the city for 25 mpg combined. We have Audi's 3D gauge cluster. So you can do this, which is very cool. It looks very nice. You have a few different options. You can look at a map, your MPG, what's playing in Apple CarPlay. Let's leave it on the map, and the gauge is there. Heated steering wheel, heated seats, automatic climate control. You have a few drive modes to select from. Off-road, comfort, auto, dynamic, individual. We'll probably just leave it in auto today. You can disable stop-start. This does have a 12-volt mild hybrid system that basically just assists with stop-start. Reverse camera looks great, nice and sharp, high res. You've got rotating lines. My visibility is very nice in this Q5. This shifter is very cool to use. You just press the P button to park, and it feels very nice in the hand. Lots of little storage compartments and areas to put things. There's a neat little wireless charging solution right here that also covers the cup holders. Some more storage down there with another USB-C port. Of course, this armrest also slides. One weird ergonomic thing that I noticed this week is that the armrest on the left side of the driver is really far forward. I guess if you're a shorter driver and you're up a little bit higher, then that would fit you pretty well. But for me, my arm wants to rest right here. Luckily, this top of this door frame is pretty low, and it's relatively comfortable to just rest your arm right here. So we've gone over this infotainment in some previous Audis like the A4 and the Q7 video that may or may not have been released yet, but it's pretty responsive, it's nice and sharp, it looks good. There isn't a ton of stuff hidden in here. Most of your controls, buttons, and things that you use on a normal basis are just laid out beautifully for you. You can see them, they're visible, and ergonomically this Q5 is very, very good in the luxury segment. I'd rather use this than a BMW all day long just because it's simpler and there isn't all this stuff hidden in the infotainment. You get some nice little clicks and haptic feedback from this. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, both wired and wireless, which is great. Let's set off and see how this Q5 drives on the road. We have super lightweight steering. And this is probably one of the smoothest 2-liter turbocharged engines I think that's ever been made. It is so buttery smooth and quiet. It's pretty torquey too. Really nice power band. You think a 2-liter turbo would be a little bit asthmatic in a crossover like this Q5, but actually it's really well paired. The 7-speed automatic does a really nice job selecting gears. It's smooth, it's seamless. It's just that perfect blend between the speed of a dual clutch and the smoothness of a torque converter automatic. All of my driver inputs in this Q5 are very light and effortless. I feel like I'm in a luxurious car, and a $50,000 car in this Q5, no problem. The shifts are barely detectable, and the power band with this 2-liter turbo, it's just torquey and smooth enough at low RPMs and just peaky enough at the high RPMs to give you a really smooth driving and shifting experience. Audi does some of the best tuning on their 2-liter turbos. It's a really nice engine. Put it into sport mode just by pushing the shifter back. Super responsive. The paddle shifters are great. This isn't necessarily a sporty car to drive, but the drivetrain is so responsive, you could kind of be fooled into thinking that it might be. So let's go and we'll put it into sport mode here. Select dynamic. Let's see how it handles a corner. Keeping the revs high around a corner here. Chassis feels very neutral, not a lot of understeer. I mean, this Q5 isn't overflowing with power, but for most people's needs, this is a perfect blend of performance, fuel efficiency, comfort, NVH. Let's do one more entrance ramp here. Put it into sport mode. We're just going to leave it in auto. Yeah, very impressive characteristics at the limit. There's not a lot of steering feel, but you have a good idea of how much grip is left in the chassis just by the rotation and kind of the feel through your hips. Quattro all-wheel drive does a really nice job. I would be curious to see what an SQ5 drives like these days. That's probably a pretty good performance crossover. I think for what you pay, you're getting a pretty decent luxury vehicle. I don't think anything here is super class leading, at least in terms of driving involvement and excitement. But for the masses who just want a nice daily driver and a nice German luxury vehicle, this Q5 is a fantastic option. I am kind of missing the scroll wheel down here with this new infotainment. That said, though, as a touch screen, it's not too bad. Let's go in. We actually have a new sound test playlist. Let's test it out. Let me know what you guys think. the Bang & Olufsen premium audio. Gives you guys a pretty good idea. I'm not blown away by this Bang & Olufsen. There are definitely better options out there in the Acura RDX and from Volvo, but it's not bad. It's not in a super expensive option. I think it's under $900, and probably worth it if you want just a nicer music listening experience in your Audi Q5. I think there's really a lot to like about this new Q5. It's a great overall, it's a great all-rounder. It'd be a really nice daily driver. The ride quality is fantastic. It's decent enough to drive in a spirited manner. This drivetrain, I think, is probably a pretty good way to go. There's also a plug-in hybrid option with about, I think, under 20 miles of range, thereabouts, 19 miles or so. Very curious to see what that would be like. I always do enjoy a good plug-in hybrid. It kind of represents a nice sweet spot between full EVs and the standard hybrids. This doesn't have lane keep assist or steering assist, but it does have a very good radar guided cruise control system. And I really like what Audi has done with the controls for this. You can easily skip 5-mile-an-hour increments. It's located just down here on the left side of the steering wheel. It's easy to engage and disengage. This is a system that Audi and Volkswagen have been using for a number of years, and it works really well. And again, just to reiterate, the ergonomics in this Q5 are fantastic. You compare them to BMW or Mercedes that are just a mess these days. This thing is so easy to use and live with on a daily basis. I love it. Nice Land Cruiser. Alright guys, well that is the Audi Q5 and a taste of our new 2021 sound system soundtrack playlist. That's going to be it for this video. Stay tuned on the Winding Road Magazine YouTube channel and on the Daily Motor YouTube channel for more videos on this Audi Q5. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Take care.
Your mobile device is still in the vehicle.
Yes. Yes, I know. Whenever you're plugged in and you open the door before unplugging your mobile device, you get a very stark warning from whoever that is. Really nice LED lighting on the inside. And these headlights at night look great too. Audi has my favorite lock chime. It's just so subtle and classy. I can listen to that all day. Very cool.